Well, good morning, everyone. I decided to show you the video on doing the door for my Brava oven. So I bought a used Brava oven, and it came either from the person or from the shipper with a smashed-in door. So you can see here, if I turn this, you can see it's really bent, and even the gasket goes underneath. So I need to order a new door from Brava. So they charged me $50, which I thought was very reasonable, and I wanted to do this video on replacing the door. So with that being said, let's begin this. So first thing first is you need to do a couple things. Make sure it's unplugged, obviously. I would also take out the crumb tray, so we got to put those aside. And then if you want, just for safety's sake, or when you're flipping it over so you don't drop it, is take off the silicone mat. Now, instead of taking it, there's screws on the top. You don't want to go after those. It's actually the ones on the bottom. So I'm going to flip my oven over, and you'll see that you have 4 feet, and with the feet there's 4 Phillips screws. So what we're going to do is take those out. Now, I'm not going to do the whole procedure because I've already done the door, but I just wanted to go over some of the highlights of this. So with that, they come off really easy. There's a washer inside the foot, so just be careful with that as well. Some of the little tips and tricks that I wanted to show, though, there were two things that I wanted to call out. One of which being, it was really difficult to get the screws in place. I'm going to show you where the door screws are once I get this last foot off. And that was challenging. It took me 20 some odd times and lots of cursing. That's another reason why I didn't video it, or I deleted the video. So there's two main points I wanted to bring up on this. So after that, this comes right off. Now, I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see the points what I'm going to reference here. There are 2 points. Let's go here, and you'll see, I'm going to push this back a little bit so we just could watch it there. And you'll see here that there's 2 screws down in here and 2 screws here that you need to take out. What I highly recommend is using needle nose pliers to put them into place. So grab the head of the screw and just put them in, and then after that is done, then take hold. I can't do this with the camera and both tools. So you take the head of the screw, you hold the screw in place, and then you take the screwdriver and put it into the hole. So there's 4 screws all together on this, 2 here, and it replaces the door. It's very simple to do, quite frankly. So with that, now that the door is completed, another piece then, the second piece of this equation is going to be, sorry for all the bumbling here, the second piece then is the wiring. There's a bunch of wires back here. Let me grab the camera again really quick. There's a bunch of wires back here, you'll see within, and there is a wall right here. Let me see if I could point it out here. There's this wall that there's a clear space in here where it's very hot here. And so what you want to make sure is that these wires, when you're tucking them in, are on the business side. Well, no, I guess the business side would be the oven, but you want to put it by the electronic side of this. So when putting this into place, making sure, so when you come back down like this, you could see how that one black wire, let me see if I can get it from this angle, the one black wire there is over on the oven side. So you want to make sure when putting this back into place that all is good with the wiring. So it takes a little finesse to put it down, make sure that both green and there's a green wire and 2 black wires are on that side of the wall. Okay, so go like this. There we go. Kind of see me, kind of see the oven, and then with that, then once this is in place, and you'll see now in my example here, you can probably see it in the video as well, but let me swing it over. I actually have a wire hanging out the back. So you just have to take time with this. Don't jam it into place. and those kind of things. Make sure that all is good, and just take your time with it. So I'm going to lift up in the back and just put it down, and it all fits right back into place. Pretty easy peasy. And then from there, just line up the 4 feet, and then it goes, back in. So with this, then I'll put the feet back in, and again, just make sure that if I actually took this apart, you'll see that there's a screw and a washer. Okay, so just make sure that you don't lose those, because the washer is what takes the screw's torque and puts it back on, and then it screws into the frame of the metal oven. So it's going into a metal part of the oven. When I first was looking at this, I'm like, oh, the feet aren't attached to anything, and quite frankly they are. And just so you know, this is Brava's steps that they sent me in a PDF. So if you ever have to do something, if you have to do something like this, then they'll send you the steps to do this. I'm just doing a summation and a video of how to do it, and hopefully rather quickly. So with that, just want to make sure everything is seated properly. No wires hanging out that I didn't crimp down. And just, again, you don't want to over tighten them because you'll strip the screws. That's just basic workmanship. And once you get done with that, let me flip her back around. And with that, then, the cord is off of there. And I'm going to flip it this way just so you can kind of see. So then I've got the oven. And it actually, seats properly now. For the other door, I'll do a comparison. The other door, when I would pull it down, hopefully you'll be able to see that angle, or maybe I'll put it on top so you can kind of see it. But yeah, there was some definite bendage going on here on this one. So that was a bad thing. So I have not done my official review. As all the products on my review site, I purchase. So the reason I bought this one used is, I'll be real frank, is going to be that this oven starts out at $1,000. And my wife and I had a conversation. She's like, no, you're not buying an oven for $1,000. I'm like, yeah, but I want to do this review. And it air fries, and it does all these cool things. And at the end of the day, I lost the battle. So, but not the war. I didn't lose the war, because I just lost the battle and I found this used one. And I think I got a pretty good deal on it. Put the crumb tray back. And we are in business. So with this, then, I just got done working out. So I'm going to make my breakfast. So I'm going to take the egg tray, and I'm going to put ham in there and make a nice little sandwich. But with that, then, I haven't done my official review on this. And like I say, the reason I bring up that I purchased this is because all my products that I purchase on YouTube, they are purchased from me. They're not give-me's from the companies. So they're my own personal reviews, my own opinions. And what I was finding, for example, with the bad door, was that, and it was leaking. I could see light, coming through and stuff. So what I found is everything was being overcooked, and I didn't know if that was a door thing or an oven thing. So now I get to run it through the paces. I am definitely going to, give my review on this. Do some cooks and do some how-tos. Once I learn this thing, it's a really cool gadget, and I don't mean gadget in a bad way. This is a great appliance for the. Or I believe it to be a great appliance for the kitchen. Now I'm going to run through its paces and see what it's going to do for me. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching my door replacement video, and look forward to cooking in the kitchen with Chris. Hey, I'll start a new series. But I'm going to do some reviews on the different cooks. One of my first ones I'm actually going to do tomorrow is I want to do a whole chicken, and I want to lay it on the zucchini and sweet potatoes and stuff that they have the recipe for. So that's going to be my first major cook. So either we're going to have dinner or we're going to be eating out Chinese. So nonetheless, thank you so much, and happy cooking.